In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to cut your own hair. The reason I started cutting my own hair is just purely out of necessity. I needed a haircut and haircuts were expensive. And not to mention, a lot of the times when you go to the barber shop, they give you like a quick 60-second haircut and then you're gone, and you know they didn't really spend that much time actually trying to cut your hair to make it look good. Depending on where you go, you're going to get a different level of service, and I didn't have like a set barber that I would always go to. So I remember sometimes going to get a haircut and just being really disappointed. I figured, hey, if I'm going to go and spend all this money to be disappointed, I could just do that myself at home. And at least that way I wouldn't have anybody else to blame if my haircut looked stupid. And also, I wasn't really trying to become a master barber. I was just trying to learn how to cut one haircut. So me and an old roommate used to cut each other's hair, and so I would get practice doing that, and then eventually I started just cutting my own hair. It's not too difficult, and if you keep your haircut pretty short, then it's not going to be that bad no matter what happens, because it'll grow out pretty soon anyways. And as long as you keep a guard on your razor, then you know you're not going to be cutting any more hair than you want to. Now, the way I started cutting my hair was using a razor all the way around, but I'm actually going to be using scissors on the top, which is a little bit more difficult. Right now, it's just incredibly grown out. This is about as long as I'll ever let my hair get. Not to mention, but I still have some pink in my hair from when I dyed it on my other channel. I personally would not choose this color. It was a dare. It was a dare that actually happened in September though. I remember thinking that the hair dye would probably be all out within like a week or two, or maybe a month at most. But now it's almost January and it's time to get all this hair off. So what I'm gonna do is cut my hair, and hopefully that gets most of the pink out. And whatever it doesn't, I might end up dyeing. We'll see. But I feel like I'd be embarrassed if I went into the barber shop with pink hair, so I might have to just cut this on my own. Now, I have gone to barbers here and there, but I found that they honestly don't really do that much better of a job. Either that or I just can't tell. But regardless, it's all about whether or not it's worth it to spend the money. If you can't tell the difference, then I don't know. Maybe other people can, I don't know. What we're gonna be using here is a wall razor. This is just like a $20 or $30 razor that you can buy at any store. I'm gonna be using the 1/4-inch guard, and I'm gonna use the sideburn trimmer on my Philips Norelco razor to get around the edges. Then I'm gonna try to blend it in with the top layer. At least that's the plan for now. I might start getting creative as we go along. We'll see. Now, the first thing that you wanna do is you wanna cut all of this hair that's like the side hair and the back hair. You basically wanna get all of this trimmed up first, and then you make like a line going around your head, and it's gonna look really stupid at first. But once you get it blended in, it starts actually looking kind of normal. Hopefully. We'll see, I don't know. All right, here we go. Also, you want to try to get as close to your mirror as possible. It's definitely going to help you out to make sure that I'm not cutting anything that I don't want to be cutting. I could just keep going and make like a Skrillex thing, but maybe we'll save that for another time. I'm not really gonna look where I'm cutting in the back. I'm just gonna kind of cut to where I know that I'm below this line. Then I'll clean it up in a little bit by being able to look through another mirror. And I'm just doing the same thing on this side. I'm just drawing a really Forrest Gumpish kind of line over here. Nothing too difficult so far. You just have to kind of be able to have the courage to just go through this first part where you look really, really weird. Okay, now I'm gonna look into this mirror and try to cut my hair in the back. This is the tricky part. Okay, so right now my hair is looking pretty jacked up, as if it wasn't before, right? But now what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to blend it in as best as possible. So as you can see right now, I have a pretty jagged little edge right here. So I'm gonna need to blend this in order to make it not look so psychotic. Okay, let's see what we can do. So I know that all this hair is as long as this guard, so do not take your guard off, otherwise you might start making dents into your head. Now, this is a slow process. You want to really just take your time. In the barber shop, what they'll do is they'll take a comb and they'll go through your head like this, so that way, but it's really difficult when you're doing that to your own hair. So we're just gonna have to do the best we can. This side is starting to get pretty blended. I might have to go back over it in a little bit, but right now we're gonna go over to the back and we're gonna try to blend this area in right here. As you can tell in the other mirror, it's actually kind of jagged too. Okay, well, I think we got the back pretty much trimmed up. Now I'm just gonna try to blend in this side. This is before it's blended. This is after it's blended. Before, after. One of the things I do when I'm blending it in is I notice that I start doing like a rocking motion, you know what I mean? So that way you're just getting like the edge, basically. You just want to cut the edge off that you've created. Keep in mind guys, I was not professionally trained to cut hair, so I'm sure that a professional barber will probably tell you to do something different. They'd probably just tell you to go in and get your hair cut by them. That's the thing though, there's not very many tutorials out there on how to cut your own hair. So, if you guys have any other solutions, definitely leave them in the comment section. I'd love to see what you guys got to say. I'm sure it would improve what I'm doing here. One thing that I know I'm missing is thinning shears to get like right here. It makes it look a lot better, but I don't have those right now. So we're just gonna finish up. So there's like 3 basic angles I try to take when I'm blending it in. I'll try to like lift this side up so I can just kind of like cut along like that. Then I'll do like this rocking motion, and then I'll also kind of like pick up the hair and feather it out like that. I hope that helps. Now, because I'm right-handed, getting this side is always the most difficult for me. Alright, well now I feel like I've got the sides blended in pretty good. I mean, not necessarily perfect, but this is a DIY haircut here, so we're gonna do the best we can. Okay, so now what we want to do is wet the hair just a little bit, and wetting your hair is definitely gonna make it a lot easier to cut. Okay, now again, this part is kind of difficult. You might not want to try this part on your very first time out. May or may not turn out well, but what I'm gonna do is try to cut my hair with scissors. So instead of doing it like the barbers do and cutting it on top, which is actually really difficult when you're looking in a mirror, I'm probably just gonna cut underneath.
You crazy mother.
And I'm making sure to keep each length that I cut fairly consistent. I'm trying to just basically cut like 1 length of finger off. Now I'm gonna go back to using the razor and try to get a little bit more of this evened out. Okay, so I'm all finished up now, but my hair's still wet, so I feel like you're not gonna really be able to tell what it looks like. So I'm gonna wash out all the excess hair, dry it off, then we can take a before and after shot and see if all that work was actually worth it, or if maybe I wasted my time and ruined my hair. Let's see! Alright, so this is basically what my hair is gonna look like, but you might wanna stick around though, because I'm about to do the very finishing touches, and that's probably the most important part actually. So I've got it pretty well blended over here, and it's not so bad over here. It's kind of difficult to tell how much it's blended because I got the hair all pushed over to that side. I don't have any product in my hair whatsoever, so this is just kind of how it is after it's washed. You can then style it however you want, but I'm just gonna kind of leave it like this. Unfortunately, there is still some pink in my hair, and that kind of sucks. I was hoping to get rid of all that, but now I have an excuse to dye my hair. So this next part just involves getting around the sideburns and just making sure you've got all the little stray hairs here and there. Alright, so this is basically the finished product. I like to keep it kind of conservative. I don't get too crazy with my haircuts. It's passable. I can go out in public and people won't say, oh, he needs a haircut. I've got one. I mean, it's not perfect. I'm sure I could use some pointers, so if there's anything I messed up, make sure to leave it in the comments. If you've got some questions, also feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer anything that I know. If you enjoyed this video or found it at all useful, please give me a big thumbs up. I really appreciate it, and I will be seeing you guys tomorrow with a new video.